Today is International Women's Day 2022. I am in my late 50s, and yet women issues that came up when I was a teenager are still very much around today. First of all, we have this next of kin issue that keeps surfacing. Men do not put their wives or children most times as next of kin, especially when they have young children. They put their family members, maybe brothers as or uncles, as next of kin instead of their wives, and this has caused untold hardship on so many women because they still have to raise these children and feed them and cater for them. So this next of kin issue is what makes me detest women who are not allowed to work at all, aka stay-at-home moms. If a woman has gone to school, why shouldn't she be allowed to work, especially if she wants to? It's different if she does not want to work. But she wants to work, then she should be allowed to work. We see women as less efficient than their male counterparts. I remember as a lawyer in our law firm, Chris Vidal & Co., some men came in and wanted to see my husband and asked for him, and I could hear the receptionist telling them that, oh, Oga is not around, but Madam is here. And they said, no, we want to talk to Oga, not Madam. And they said they will leave and come back when the Oga is around. And I wondered if my own law degree was less than that of my husband because I was a woman. Nigerians, we love titles, and during functions, people are announced and called up to the table, or their presence is announced with titles. But it's funny that at times, the qualifications and titles of women is not acknowledged. Even when the husband and wife have the same qualification. You can see two doctors, the husband and the wife coming, and it's Dr. and Mrs. So and so, barrister and Mrs. So and so. Why? Then let's talk about obnoxious cultural practices and traditions. Widows' practices that are enforced. Women are made to shave their hair. They are made to drink water that is used in washing the cups of their husband just to prove their innocence. They are made to wear black maybe for 1 year, and during this 1 year they are never to remarry within that period. Then we talk about female genital mutilation, how the clitoris is cut off, and in some cases the woman's private part is sewn up and just the little bit of where she urinates is left open. It causes a lot of problem for women during childbirth. And apart from that, it hinders them enjoying sex when they are married. All this is done, according to them, to reduce the sexual urge in a woman. Then there are certain meats that women are not allowed to eat. Gizzard, for example, and so many others. They are the exclusive preserve of men who should eat those meat parts. Then inheritance. Female children cannot inherit, even from their parents, despite the fact that we have a Supreme Court case that says otherwise. But still, it is not being enforced. Let us talk about the inferiority of the girl child. The girl child is not regarded as a child. There was a man that said, I have only one child and a girl at that. Then someone else said, oh, when he was talking of inheritance, he said, I have only one child, despite the fact that he had 4 daughters also in addition. Why? This is not fair. Women, the girl child is a child and she should be acknowledged. Then we talk of the bill that was recently rejected by the Senate. Nigerian men are allowed to have their foreign wives become citizens, but it's not the same for the Nigerian woman who is married to a foreign husband. The bill was outrightly rejected. It's the exclusive right of women. Women form the bulk of the population, but they are not allowed to occupy leadership positions, even within the parties. Women lose their indigenship of their states once they are married. Yet, in their husband's state, they are not allowed to hold leadership position, claiming that they are from that state. And a bill to rectify this was also squashed. These are just a few that I want to mention here. There are so many more that time will not allow me to talk about. But then, I think it is high time. We've had enough of all this reeling of injustice done to women. Today, women, let us focus on the solution. Let us focus on what we can do to bring an end to all this injustice. If our voices don't count, then we should also make our votes not count. Yes, let's register to vote, but let's vote for women. Vote for women, register, vote for women. And then vote for women only, and let's see how the men will be able to fulfill the constitutional requirements they need to come into office. After all, it is said that the population of women is more than that of men. So let's use it to our advantage. Secondly, let's say no to being enforcers of harmful cultural practices. We have been brainwashed by men right from childhood to enforce these practices against fellow women. The female genital mutilation is done by women. Our grandmothers and mothers in the villages. Then the widow's right that we make to shave and do all these things is all enforced by women. Men are not told to do any of this stuff. For the female genital mutilation, to reduce sexual urge of women, come on, let's talk about this. When it comes to sexual urge, whose is higher? Is it the woman or the man? It's the man. It's higher. But yet, nothing is done to curb that in men. It's the women. Then the widows' rights that are carried out. Do men do that? No. A man can be told when his wife dies, like, oh, to just console yourself, so that you will not be troubled about the loss of your wife. Maybe you should just marry as soon as possible. Yeah. There was one that even married less than 6 months when his wife died. Let us stop running from pillar to post because we want to have a male child. You have 8 daughters, 9 daughters, and then you trouble your life that you must have a son. No. Many women have lost their lives because of this. And it's high time we say no. Look at men like Bruce Willis. He has 5 daughters only. Kobe Bryant, the late Kobe, he has 4 daughters only. We're not even talking about Barack Obama, the past president of the United States, who has 2 daughters only. Even the founder of Facebook, Mark, he has 2 daughters only. Let's not forget Dangote, our own Dangote. It is said he has 3 daughters only. Only 3 daughters is what he has. But he's still, we know him, Dangote. Who cares about the gender of his children? Are we not hearing their names? We are, because they did something to preserve their own names. They got up and have a legacy. They are leaving a legacy, and they will be remembered, not because they have either the sex of the child they have. So why should we women continue to trouble our lives because we want, because some man wants to maintain or keep his poverty-stricken name alive? We should say no to it. No. raise our children without gender-specific roles. We are the women. We do the training. So let's begin to raise sons that don't see any gender the difference in the things they do. That way we begin to work on the mentality of our sons, so that as they grow into men, their attitude will be changed towards women. Let's raise our daughters to have a voice, to say no to harmful cultural practices that don't advance their cause. Let us teach them to be rebels when it comes to such practices, and stand up and speak out for themselves, so that they can get a better future for themselves. Let's get involved with NGOs that promote women's rights. Let's encourage people that are engaged in this fight and join hands with them. Men, I want to plead with you. Make your wives next of kin. I beg, I am Melinda. Please, if you know you love your wife, you truly love your wife and your children, you don't want your children to suffer when you're not there, I beg, Gipo, Suku Suku, Da Allah, please put your wife or your children instead as next of kin. I want to appeal to men. I know there are men out there who love women, who stand up for the rights of women. I appeal to you at this time. I appeal to you today, March 8, 2022. Rise up. Lend us your voice. Support our cause. Project our cause in all you do, so that others can come on board. Women, we need to rise. Change lies in our hands. We can do it. Let's do it.